So again, we're in, okay, we can bump those hips, create our space, and again from here, it's my elbow. Short frame, okay, it's my elbow that's gonna make the push. My hand really right now is just kind of relaxing, okay? So now from here again, as Matt tries to push back in, so through here, now I'm gonna cut the corner. Again, I was pushing on him. I need him to believe that there's that gap. So I push and I'm running, I'm pushing, I'm running, I'm pushing, I'm running. So that now when he pushes in, there's the overcommitment, okay? It's the overcommitment that sells almost every technique. This is what we were talking about a little bit this morning. In drilling, we give false reactions. You're like, oh, if you did that, I would just do this. Okay? 200 miles an hour, you're not making a rapid lane change. It's not happening. Do that and you're gonna wipe out. 35 mile an hour, you can dart through everything, okay? But in a live roll, when you're going hard and you're going with a lot of pressure, you're not making these rapid lane changes that you're claiming that you would in the middle of drilling. Okay? So part of what we're doing in practice is trying to mimic more what's gonna happen at live speed, not at low speed. And so ultimately, if I can get Matt to chase me, and he's closing that gap, and then closing that gap, and then all of a sudden that pressure just disappears, he's overcommitted, he's going forward. And it's that overcommitment then that allows me to really take advantage of what's happening. So again, I'm in, elbow pressure, okay? I push, he closes, I push, he closes, I push, he closes, I push. Then my elbow that was up on his head, as soon as I go from the hip to the far side of the hip, again, still heavy pressure on my elbow, he's collapsing in. The part to get used to is, here's my arm. As I go around right here, it turns into a hook to grab onto the back of his head. Remember, he's pushing, so he's falling forward. Very difficult for him as he's falling forward, if you bait it, for him to really change that direction. So now I'm pulling down on that head. As he's falling, I'm getting up, and then we're taking over the top turtle position. Most people, when they try to go into their ghost, they're trying to do it from this, again, static position. Frame it. I'm gonna wiggle one underhook in, and then I think I'm gonna force my way into the position. You're not forcing your way into anything, okay? You can't force your way out of a wet paper bag, okay? But if you sell it, frame and move, frame and move, frame and move, you're gonna find that when you stop trying to do it on the first and start allowing it to end up building that motion, second and third, that's when you're gonna find deeper success. So again, even through here, frame and move, frame and move, frame it, there goes my ghost. When he pushes in and my frame shifts and disappears, he collapses, my up is so much easier, my guard is so much easier, okay? Pretty much almost every variation that we're doing, if I'm frame and move, get him to chase me, you're gonna find a lot more success that's gonna happen than trying to hit it on one perfect attempt that probably wasn't gonna work anyway, because it wasn't a perfect attempt. It was a half-assed attempt. It kind of created a minimal amount of space, and then you thought that that was supposed to work. That's why you get into the habit of going 2 and 3 more, always, of just pushing. If the opportunity presents itself, then you dive on the opportunity. But if it doesn't, and it's not going to more often than not, then get used to, again, push out, push out, push out. Worst case scenario, he doesn't even follow me. Doesn't follow me, I just get up. I mean, that's the worst case. The best case scenario is, yeah, I'm a one and done. But more likely in a live roll, as you're really going with somebody, one and done doesn't happen, okay? So again, frame, frame, frame. This time, frame up on the body stay, or up on the head stays. It's the one on the hip, okay, that dives. And you notice the head goes with it, okay? So by the time he falls, I'm not even there. He's literally falling on the ground, and I'm just pulling up and getting up into my turtle, all right? Let's get a shot. Frame, okay, I'm here. Again, I'm scooting until I'm not. And again, through here, I was using my elbow to hold him away. Okay, like I said, until I'm not.
Okay.
And through here, literally, all I'm doing is just pushing his wrist. It's not even a grip. You see my hand. I mean, technically, it's not even a grip. At this point in time, this hand, I let it shoot all the way over. Okay. Likelihood is the skilled grappler is going to hide their hand inside their groin as quickly as possible. And that's okay. This hand is going to shoot to come under. And again, I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about my grip. Okay. Like I said, this one through here is just a frame. I mean, can I grip? Absolutely, not wrong. Okay, but again, it's just showing the frame is what I need. This hand's just going to shift over, and when it comes in, same thing. The frame is all I need. It's not a grip, it's a pressure. Could I go here? Absolutely, but if you go here, this isn't it. Okay, it's the pressure, it's the frame that I want to continue and create its tension. Okay, because what a lot of people are going to do is they're going to go here, they're going to come over the top, and then because they locked their hand up, all their pressure just stopped. And that's why, again, I'm not worried about the grip. I'm worried about the frame. My hand is still going to push his hand into his groin. This hand, when it comes over the top, okay, I'm not worried about pulling the arm out and going for my Kimura, because that's what he's ready for right now. And so more than likely what he's going to be doing is prepping himself so that when I go to yank, he's posturing up and then he's throwing his uppercut through the middle to steal my position. So what I have to be ready for is to meet his opposition as quickly as I can. And what I've been finding a lot more success with is, what is it he's prepping for in the Kimura? He's prepping me for me to yank his hand out. What he's not prepping for is for me to bury his hand deeper into his groin, and he wasn't prepped for that. So when I'm here and I lock in, my hands now shove through here. Now I shove his hand in. Sit up. Here, sit up. See, now that he's up, now he starts making his little uppercut motion and the like. So my first motion is to literally take his hand, shove it into his groin. With my other hand, shove it into his groin. And what's going to happen through here is, yes, his arm is going to straighten out to go into his hip, but it's also going to put a ton of downward tension into this shoulder, which is where most of his defense wants to exist. So as I'm here, again, it's not even about a grip. It's about a tension. Shove, 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 shove. And right here, this is pushing either his hip back or it's putting tension into his shoulder. Okay, so now from here, if he starts trying to make his up, he's going to have a hard time through here. And it's also pushing that hip away, making it harder for him to make a transition from here as well. Okay, so now this is where you get to make the choice. What do you want to do? Okay, I shove it in, control him. Now from here, I pull his arm, elbow first, like I'm going to elbow myself in the face with his elbow. I'm not even going to try to pull his hand off of his groin at all. I'm going to shove, and then I'm going to pull his elbow to me. And once that happens, okay, now to be honest with you, I'm for the most part running anyway. I don't care if his hand comes out. I don't care if his hand stays in. That motion for me goes into play, shove, and then pull. That shove gets him off balance, pushes the hip away, making it easier. And be careful, because when that arm comes out, it's going to be a very fast Kimura at that point. So again, frame, up, up, up. Right here, in and shove. Put it into the groin. Hit it in hard. Okay? Shove, get him down. And then from here, once it's down, now pulling his elbow towards me. Now from here, I'm just looking from left or right to left to roll him over. At that moment in time, either his arm and the shoulder come with me, okay, or his entire body comes with me. It's going to be one or the other. Okay, but at that moment in time, you'd be amazed. I mean, Tony, you got strong arms, Tony. Yeah, you got strong arms, Tony. So, once I got Tony locked up here, okay, in this position, this is what most people are going to do. They get into this position, okay, start to sit up. I can't stop that, okay? Now from here, also, I'm going to try to yank his arm out, okay, from here. This is what most people do, okay? From here, my first motion, shove, okay? This already starts to compromise his shoulder. It's not as tough as it was. So we shove, we shove, we shove. Now from here, I take his elbow and I take it like I'm going to throw it over